Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's a beautiful day up here in sunny Ohio. A little cold out today, whatever. Anyway, today we're working on a 2013 Toyota Tacoma. I want you guys to be aware when you're working on these that they have two types of calipers. A 2-piston caliper and a 4-piston caliper. Make sure you're using jack stands when you're doing stuff, you know. Don't be trying to do stuff unsafely. It's not worth it. Especially if you're in here working on stuff. Something falls, you're not going to be happy. Alright. So again, if you're changing these brake pads, these are very easy to change. All you got to do is pull these pins. Pull these little things right here, pull these out. Pull these pins out, take your pads out, put your new pads in. So this is going to be like a just want you to understand this video. This video is basically for replacing the calipers, but at the same time we're going to do the pads. So understand that these calipers, normally you would think that the squealers on these would go in the back. In this situation, these squealers here go in the front. I don't know why they did that. I think this one here. Wait, let me see. Some of these are backwards. I'm pretty sure that these are designed for the front. You see, this is my opinion that this is the C, means it's toward the back of the caliper to this. So just keep in mind, see if you, because mine don't have the squealers on it right now. This one here does not have the squealers. This is the original one. So you want to make sure that the squealers, if they're in the back right now, put them in the back. But because this one doesn't have squealers, I'm going to go ahead and put these ones in the front because it just, I don't know why they designed them like this, but I think that this is where they go, is in the front, not the back on this type of a piston. But anyway, so when you're putting your pads back in there, make sure you put these little plates on there too. These plates go on here, like this. You slide your new brake pads in there, put your new pins in there, which it should come with, if you have any. You got new ones. The new calipers come with new pins. But anyway, those are the easiest ones to replace. So I just wanted to tell you that. Now, when you're doing the caliper, you want to make sure that you take this bolt here off. Take this loose because as you see, it's got a brake hose back here, then a regular hard line going to the caliper. So make sure you take that off. I just take this off, take the caliper off and hang the caliper. Take the rotor out, put the new rotor on, and then put the new caliper in, and then take this loose from that. But keep in mind, whenever you're taking these lines loose, that this is a painted line. So you want to definitely heat that. Heat it and break it loose. And as you're heating it, just realize that once it's heated up and you break it loose, you don't want it to just put a little heat on there. Don't take much. Take a little bit, trying to heat that. First of all, make sure it's not rusted, and then heat that pin up so this will turn a lot easier. And it doesn't twist the line as hard. Let's see if that was enough. I already smell it burning the paint. See, you want to just wiggle this back and forth until that line, you see how the line's not moving? Yeah, it was when I first started. That's what the heat does. So you get this thing moving without, to where it moves freely. That way when you take this off, that the line doesn't twist on you. See how it's freely moving? That's what the heat's for. It's definitely advised to use heat for sure. Even though a lot of people don't like using heat, but whatever. I use it just a little bit. So I'm going to pop this one here off. All right, we're back. I had to get that bolt loose. Okay, so now we're going to come in behind here. I want to show you some other little tricks here that a lot of people don't use. They try to beat these calipers, the rotors off when they get stuck. You don't have to do that. So what we want to do is we want to come back here. I'm going to take these out. These are in the back. That's the only thing that's holding it. The only two bolts you need to take out for this is these two bolts in the back. Get you a bungee cord. So when this thing does come off, you're not screwing your thing up here. Make sure you don't take your bolt out. Take this off, make sure it's loose. Take this out of here. So what you're trying to do is not break the line. That's the whole purpose of this. Sometimes they get stuck on there. As you can see, this one here was metal to metal. No brake pad in there, see? No brake pad. So this thing was definitely due for a brake job. Okay, that thing's heavy. And as you can see, it's the 4 piston. 2 there, 2 in the back. 2 in the front, 2 in the back. So yeah. Looks like it's going to try to start raining. Alright, now these usually don't come off, so if you look in here, there's little screws or little threaded holes. The threaded holes right there. I don't know if this will give me, I'll show you from over here. I don't know if it's going to be able to show it from over there. So what you do is you get a couple bolts. I don't know what size these are, but they fit in there. Put one on each side. And as you start to screw them in, the bolts are going to push against the axle, or the bolts are going to push against the bearing that's in there, or that plate. Can't think of what it's called right this second, but so see, watch it. Did you see it come off there a little bit? Did you see it move? Because when you screw that in, it's going to start moving this out. Watch. See how it moved it? That's all you need. That should be loose. Yep. See how it gets corrosion on there? Alright, that's how you get the rotors off the easy way without having to fight it. If you've got that situation. If you have those. If you have them, great. If not, and you see, it pushes through the back and pushes against this, which is your bearing or your plate. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this thing right here and I'm going to clean all this up. Clean it up real good, and I'll be back in just a second. Alright, now that that's cleaned up a little bit better, it's not perfect, but it's definitely better than what it was. Now I'm going to take some of this Never-Seize anti-seize lubricant here from Permatex. I'm going to put it all on here. Keep that rotor from sticking again. Alright, we're back. Operator error. There, now that works. Alright, so now you got your everything together. You want to go in the back and retighten everything up. 9/16. Pretty sure these are 9/16 or 11/16 in the back. Bolts. Now that that's on there, we're going to go ahead and get our new pads out. Put our backing plates on these pads, our backs on here. Put that one in here. those are in. That one's in. Now the bottom one, you're gonna have to put this little clip on here. This clip is basically to keep your pad spread apart. That's what this little clip does. So you want to put this in. I always put it in the first one. Let's see. I don't know if you can see this or not. It'd be better if I come over here on this side. So I'm going to put this in here, put this in here, and then squeeze it in around my clip and the pin. Slide it over like that. Then you're going to take that and pry that out just a little bit. There's how you put your clips in. Now you got these little clips here. These ones right here will hold the pins in place. You want to make sure that these are put in. You get your clips in here. Well, they're not going nowhere. Now you're going to take your line off. Now you've already got it broke loose. Take your 10 millimeter, get this line off. You don't need this anymore. But what I'm going to do, I already got that broke loose now. Heat it up so it doesn't twist the line all to hell. It's okay to let that drain out a little bit, ain't gonna hurt nothing. And then you wanna put this in here. You wanna put this on the line on first before you try to put it back onto the housing. That's the way I do it. You can always bend the line just a little bit to get it to fit. There's that. You put your line back on there, your bolt back in. Get your bungee cord off of there. We'll give that just an extra little tweak. Just make sure it's tight. Then we're going to pop this here loose with our 5/16, I think it was, or 8 millimeter. We'll pop this loose and get the fluid to start draining. You want to make sure you've got fluid in your reservoir up there. You just heard all that air come out. Make sure your reservoir is topped off. Mine should be. Just let her come out of there. Once you see fluid come out of there, you're good. Make sure your reservoir stays topped off. I'm going to screw this back in here. You can see this is going to go in here. And that's going to prevent any fluid from coming out while it's in the truck. See how the fluid coming out now? That's what we do with gravity bleed. So it fills it up, then you got to bleed it afterwards, obviously. I'm going to let it gravity bleed for just a minute. Clean up pretty good there. tighten that back up for now. Then there's several ways to gravity bleed these, or to bleed these. And I don't have two people here right now, so that was wasteful. What I'm going to do is probably go get my Mighty Vac, my little vacuum pump, and suck some of the air out of it, and then wait for somebody to get here to help me bleed. But I'll be back with another video later on for the rear brakes.